Three, two, one. Okay, I'll tell you when it starts going live.
Okay.
But you know how there's a delay, so probably things we say now might be already going live.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
maybe. Actually, oh, here it is. Yes, we are live.
We're live.
Yes, we are.
Robot and the Bear. 67?
Number 67, starring
Wow.
Yumi Yamazaki.
Yay!
Yay!
Yay.
Welcome, Yumi. How's it going?
Thank you.
Welcome.
I'm doing good. How are you guys doing?
We're doing
Oh, we're good. Oh, sorry, I have a dog barking in the background. Oh, bye. Bye. It's blurry though. Whoa, there's nothing back there. Anyway, yeah, welcome to the stream. I know you're streaming live from Mar Vista. I'm in Palms, and Luke is in
downtown Los Angeles.
Oh, you're at your studio.
I'm at my studio.
Wow. And there's the sofa.
The sofa, so yeah.
And the sofa was already there.
No, I actually had to bring that thing
Oh, wow.
from I rented a U-Haul. I put it in the U-Haul. I took it all the way down to Los Angeles, and I got the strongest person I know, Thomas Hahn. For those of you who are not familiar with Thomas Hahn is maybe 5'10" and probably weighs about 90 pounds. So to help me lug it up a flight of stairs in downtown Los Angeles, and
yeah,
here it is.
Awesome.
So
awesome.
But yeah, so Yumi, you had a show open up in Giant Robot Gallery.
Yes.
But I think the thing that Eric and I, before we get into the show and this and that, I think the thing that Eric and I were probably most kind of interested in hearing about is the fact that you're young. You're in your 20s, and you grew up in a totally different world than we did. So tell us about yourself.
Okay. Yeah, I'm 24. Well, I was born in Japan. I was born in Ibaraki, which is an hour train ride north of Tokyo. But then my parents and I moved to Michigan when I was 1.5 years old.
Okay.
And I've been in America since, so I'm basically
in
America. It feels like I'm American, I guess. But then I was there in Michigan for 5 years, and then I moved to San Diego, and most of my life I grew up in San Diego up until high school. And then for college, I came out to LA to go to Otis College of Art and Design, and that's when I first professionally started taking art seriously.
What were you drawing when you were super young, and or were you I guess art could be a thing. I'll just apply to this fancy art school just for shits and giggles, and then suddenly when you're there art serious, it's a thing. Was it like that, or
Yeah.
you have that ambition in your heart, art, this is the only thing I'm good at?
It's kind of half and half. The high school I went to and the community I was in when in San Diego, it was very bio heavy and science heavy, and so all of my friends are in biology or they're trying to be doctors and stuff, and so I was kind of in that circle, and so it was really at the time it was kind of hard to think of art as a viable profession. So I actually didn't actually my first dream was to become a paleontologist.
Wow.
Which is I liked dinosaurs, and I liked archaeology too, and history, so I wanted to get into that. But then my high school counselor was there's no jobs in paleontology. So then I was okay, I guess I'll be an artist then.
Wow. So, were you the one who drew in school though? You probably did art in school, right? In high school?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I did art in high school because I really liked it, but I honestly didn't consider like going to art school until senior year. Um, and that's because I kind of I went to like a summer of art, like a high school like pre-college program during my junior year, like during the summer, and then that's when I really felt I did like a little animation course, which was like 3 months long or something, and then I really enjoyed it. And then so when I went back to high school senior year, I was like, okay, maybe I should actually start prepping a portfolio and things. Um,
How did you pick Otis of all schools?
Oh, funny story. So there's like this national portfolio day that happens at like Cal Arts or like random schools every year. And I went to one during my senior year of high school with like my measly portfolio that I like cobbled together. And then I was planning to I had a couple schools lined up where basically like all the schools have little tables and then they have the like uh, recruiters there and you can show them your portfolio and they'll like give you feedback. And I was in line to do like a review for School of Arts in Chicago, and then there was like a huge line for Otis, which was like a table that was like right next to it, but I had never heard of Otis before. But since I was there and I had like spare time, I thought I would just get a crit from them. And then Otis gave me like the harshest crit out of all of the other schools. And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to this school because they seem like really serious. So yeah, and that's how I ended up there.
Nice,
Wow.
nice. And you studied illustration, or did you study like animation?
Yeah,
Or
so I originally went to Otis as an animation major. So I wanted to study 2D animation. And they have a program that's called digital media major. And that's all for like, it's basically like digital art for like movies and games and like just the entertainment. And I was in their animation program for 3 years, but they can like you can kind of be flexible in what classes to take. So by the end of it, I was kind of more doing more like painting and drawing more than animation. And so I ended up graduating as like a concept art or entertainment art major.
are
Oh, I
you
see.
doing any of that kind of work, like in between showing your work,
Yeah.
like giant robot?
Oh, she's
And
got a tell us about your job. She got a job.
oh,
Yeah,
job,
I have a
job.
day job. I'm a 2D artist at a mobile game company in Culver City called Jam City. And so I do like 2D art for mobile games.
What are some of their games?
I'm
That's right. Luke is a mobile game guy. Look at this
oh,
guy. He's ready to judge. Look at him. He's ready to judge. I
I
can look
have
at his
no
face.
like I have no idea what games they would made. It sounds familiar, but I'm like, but what are some of their games?
I'm on a game called Genies and Gems. It's like a match three game, but their like biggest games I think are like Panda Pop or
So it's cute, like match three-ish kind of
yeah, like the
puzzly
simple,
games.
yeah.
So, speaking of like match three games, I used to love them until I played Candy Crush,
Oh.
and and then I realized that it's all bullshit. Like, there's no skill required for those games. So,
Yeah.
if you know any game mechanics people, like let them know Luke is onto them, and that's
Okay.
bullshit.
I'm gonna message my
Is that true? Is that true, Luke? Are those match 3 games? There's no skill,
There's no real skill because like
but don't you have to
drops
plan?
the
You know?
drops are random. There's no like you can't like if every time you play have to play a level again, it's all about the randomness of the drop. It has nothing to do with like like it's not like they drop things like in a set pattern and you have to kind of figure it out like an actual puzzle.
But aren't you like kind of picking what to like make drop further down and stuff like that. So then
Sure,
it
yeah, yeah.
connects to other things. And, you know, by doing it's like chess, man.
No, it's not like chess. it's like chess if, like, you know, the opposite player just suddenly decides, like, okay, I'm going to drop a queen now, you know, here, and then maybe another knight here, you know, like that is not like strategic.
Yeah, but you've got to but when it drops, a knight drops, you have to know how to use it. It's not just like let it just sit there. You got to kind of understand how to maneuver it so all the pieces can drop more shit.
No, it's not that simple.
What do you think, Yumi? Do you agree, or what do you think? You're an expert at this, probably. You're behind the scenes. You're on the other side.
I'm not. I'm actually terrible at games. But no, it is like actually like I can't beat like the game I'm on right now. It's really hard. Like once you get to a certain level, I think you need to like have like power-ups and things.
Right.
Like,
exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. It's called opening up your freaking wallet. And that's bullshit. You know, like why can't, like, you know, skilled players who have like kind of like, you know, built up, you know, their game, like be able to get past those levels through skill alone.
What about Tetris? Is Tetris is that skill or is that luck?
It's skill.
Okay, that one's skill. Okay, I got you. I'm starting to understand.
Right.
Where you're getting at.
When you get a field full of different colored blocks and you're supposed to connect 3, you know, like it's not really, anyways. You know,
you need to be like really lucky or something. Luck is a big part of it.
Exactly. It is a luck-driven game, game, and that is not like I might as well just play the fucking slot machine like game apps, like, because that, you know, it's the same it's basically the same thing.
So are you saying that these games are basically they want you to spend money? Is the bottom line?
I mean,
right?
We are a company.
Okay. I know, but you know, I wasn't sure if there's ads on the side that's what it's all about. Oh, so you're double dipping. So you get ads, you get frustrated players to put in more money so they can actually do better in the game. I get it. And what do you do on that game, though? Come to think of it, did we even ask? What do you do?
Yeah, like what is it? Are you doing like interstitial animation bits or?
No way. She's designing the money part, the ad, the logo that says "Put money in me now."
Open your wallet.
Yeah, it's a bubble. Boop, open your wallet. Anyway, all right.
No, like, are you designing like characters in the game? Are you designing parts of the game? Like, how does that all work?
Yeah, so I do a lot of different things. Like my art team, we only have 3 people on the art team, and so we're all kind of like, we just do whatever is needed. So right now I'm doing like I'm doing art for like when you first open the game, like usually there's like a pop-up screen.
Yeah, the flash screen kind of thing.
Yeah, and then there's like a main screen, and so we have like art. We basically have like a keyframe art or like splash art on that screen, and so I've been doing some of those. And we also do like UI and like small little
What's
icons.
UI?
UI is user interface, so those are like the buttons you press or
and they make those buttons look juicy, so you add money. So get help now.
You know when you're pressing it, because it's a small like 1-frame animation to show, like, you know,
maybe hearts, something that makes you feel good. Oh, hearts.
Yeah, exactly.
Or just kind of gets like 2 pixels bigger, you know, when you press it, you know, or
satisfying. Like, what is the most satisfying?
Like, it is reacting to my touch.
Yes.
Awesome. Wow. So is that something that you're passionate about? Like this kind of like digital, I don't know, not the game itself, but actually working in this kind of field?
Yeah, I mean, my whole like purpose, I guess, when I started like learning art at Otis was to like eventually work at like an entertainment company, whether it be like game or film or animation. And so that was what I really wanted to do. But then it was like, this is also a funny story. Like that was like why I entered art school, but then I came out and I was like, I do want to do like art as like an entertainment art as like a day job, because that's what kind of like pays my bills. But then I also like I met a lot of people at Otis who were really into traditional art, and so that's how I got into like the gallery art scene. And so I really love traditional art. Like I love how like tactile it is, and so that's why I do that like on the side or after work. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, people who balance like day jobs and like studio stuff are always kind of amazing to me. It's just I can't imagine like having to like wake up in the morning. Well, I can't even imagine waking up in the morning, but like, you know, wake up in the morning and, you know, like trudge myself to my company job and then, and like, you know, sit in front of a, you know, what are those things?
Wacom tablet.
Yeah, tablets.
A tablet, just and draw like, you know, all day long, and then come back home and then pick up an actual pencil and, you know, and try and like find time to like, I don't know, do your thing. I'm assuming that like they probably pile on a ton of work for you at, you know, a company like this.
Yeah, I mean, it really kind of is different than like your personal work because like your name's not going to be on it, and you have like you pretty much don't have a lot of creative freedom. Like you have an art director who's directing like what kind of scene or what kind of like painting they want. And so it was like, especially when I just got out of school, it was like pretty hard transition to like really separate myself from my like day job art, and then kind of switch gears when I come back home and do my personal art, because that it almost feels like it's almost like therapy because like it actually feels like it matters more to you. But it is actually nice sometimes like having like someone telling you exactly what they want from you like in the art, because then you feel less responsible for what you're producing almost.
It's like it can look as much as shitty as they want it to look.
Yeah, this is what you wanted.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So one reason why, or one way, the way I met you was because of Nathan Ota. He told us about, wait, before we go anywhere, tell us about Nathan Ota's teachings and his style of teaching.
Yes.
I hear different things from different people.
Wait, what have you heard?
Well, what did you experience? Actually, your experience is probably different than a lot of people. I've heard the good, and I've heard the he's kind of strict.
I'm being that I have taken 3
you have
of his lessons at the Santa Monica City College. Like I get to see his indifference to like most of the students, and then like, and when you have that one student that like sucks up to him, he's just like eye roll. You know?
Whoa.
Was it like that in Otis?
Yeah, he is pretty like stoic, so like that comes off as kind of like strict and like a little intimidating. Because like his like I feel like his teacher persona and then like his real like persona is pretty different. Like you kind of have to get to know him, and then you start to like you know how like fun and like goofy he is sometimes. But as when you like speak to him, like even like when I speak to him as like a teacher, when he's in that like teaching mode, it's pretty like it's very not strict, but he's very like serious. He takes everything very seriously, which is like it's really great when you're a student, because like you feel like he's really giving you like his time and like really great feedback. But it is pretty like you feel really vulnerable like speaking to him, because he like tells you exactly like what's wrong with it and like what you need to improve. And sometimes not a lot of teachers do that. Sometimes teachers are like too nice and stuff, and so it's actually like a good splash of reality when you're in school.
It's what you were attracted you to Otis in the first place, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
What was campus culture like? You know, during, you know, because we're living in these kind of funky times right now,
Mhm.
like with political correctness and cancel culture and all that stuff. And like, did you feel like that kind of environment, like in like, was it like painfully obvious in the classroom environments, and did it kind of make you or other students feel like they couldn't fully express themselves because in fear of being canceled or anything like that? Because you're a recent
Um,
graduate, aren't you?
yeah, I graduated 2 years ago, and then I still actually TA for Nathan's
Oh,
classes.
oh
Yeah.
wow.
Oh,
Oh, I
Yeah.
didn't even know
wow,
that.
you are busy.
Yeah, so I mean, fortunately when I was there, it wasn't as like there wasn't much like cancel culture going on yet.
Mhm.
But I know that like a lot of that's happened, like especially like the summer after I graduated, and then when COVID started, there was a lot of like students coming out about issues they experienced at school and things. And so I thought it was good that some people, like a lot of like people were feeling more comfortable like coming out about those things.
Mhm.
um, so yeah, I think it was a pretty, for me, it was a pretty healthy experience at school, but I know that that really just depends on like who you meet and who you surround yourself with. And I know some people weren't as fortunate as I was. But yeah, I felt like my school experience was really positive, and yeah, I felt free to explore and do what I want there. So it was a good experience.
Mhm.
Yeah, I always because I mean I just know that was it the last year, art schools in general. It seemed like not just Otis, but Art Center, SVA in New York.
Hmm.
There's probably more, but like they all had their own. Each one had their own. I don't say issues, but students coming out saying things about teachers.
Yeah.
From yeah, like it seemed like an art school, a very strong art school thing versus I didn't even see it about UCLA in general. Maybe it's too big, but it just seemed like art schools had it especially.
Yeah, I did
I'm not
see
sure.
that. Like it was, yeah, I haven't seen that for like other like not normal, but like UC schools and things. But
Yeah,
yeah, I did
I didn't.
see a lot of art school students coming out about issues, and it was really interesting because and I think it was a good thing that a lot of these things came out, because sometimes like I would be talking to some of my friends who graduated with me, and we'd be like, oh yeah, maybe that was like sort of weird, or maybe like we didn't realize it in that moment, but like looking back, we thought that maybe some of these things like we were kind of like almost trained to like just like cast it away and not notice it. But it was good to hear people
Like what
coming out.
specifically?
Especially like I saw a couple of people like saying their like experiences with certain teachers, and like how they were sort of inappropriate with students, or like they were like sharing too much, or yeah. And so it was like I did feel like some teachers like I had like an awkward experience with, but I didn't really like think about it at the time. But it was it was nice to hear like other people coming out about it, um and then kind of reflecting and being like, oh, maybe I should have done this, or maybe I should have like took note of that. So it like helps me realize that in the future, like if I do experience things like that.
Like what specifically?
I mean, are these
Like,
male teachers? Are we
uh,
talking about that kind of thing, or is it more like like is it more like bad word stuff, like them being an asshole, or is it more like I don't
um
know,
or a
it,
prying
it,
kind of thing, or
it was mostly like
like what you're doing, Luke? But yeah,
I'm not
for
a
me.
teacher though.
I didn't experience anything really like really bad, but there were instances where like just like people not using like pronouns correctly. or like teachers just not being too sensitive about like LGBT and things like that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but that reminds me of stuff like, I'm a different generation of school, but I remember once in elementary school, and I won't forget it, there was a substitute teacher, and the substitute teacher said, Japanese, Chinese, Korean, whatever, all Asians are the same. And I will never forget that. And I'm like, a teacher said that to me, and I'm like, whoa, and it's a white lady saying that. And she was, and I'm like, wow, I learned that in elementary school. Like, that's unforgettable. But it's like, I'd love to find out who that was and bring that up, this many years later and go, dude, that's fucked up. Because she was saying that to like people, and I'm like, dude, you're lame,
Yeah.
Absolutely untrue. Except me and Luke are the same. I think Luke is frozen. Or wait, Luke, are you doing the what is it called? The statue pose? Luke, I think you're doing the statue pose.
I think we lost him.
We lost him. Okay, let's see if we can get Mr. Luke back. That was hilarious. I was like, oh, he's really intently watching us. Like that. Yeah. And I was like, whoa, Luke, you're looking pretty dapper there. Let me see if I can get Luke back.
Okay.
He's probably thinks he's still like live. He's probably like, oh.
It's like continuously talking.
I know. I'm like, oh, I don't even know how to get Luke back on. Wait, can he just get back on the same?
Yeah, I think you need to like accept him into the Zoom room, but I think he should be able to just access it through the link.
Oh, I don't know how to do it.
Unless it's like Wi-Fi went out.
Yeah, I don't know how to do it. I could probably wait. I have to go back to the participants list. Oh yeah, he's not even in the room here. Sorry about that. That's ugly, but we'll make this work. Sorry about that, everybody. Now we have people watching, just me and Yumi. Let's see here. I'll send it to him right now. He got kicked off. Yeah, he just wrote me back.
Okay. Oh.
Okay, hold on for a second. Oh, I thought the story I told about my elementary school teacher just put him off so bad that he froze. Like that was amazing.
So angry.
I was like, oh, Luke, thanks for having my back, man. Yeah, it's like, good job, Luke. Let's see. How do I do that again? I'm so confused. What's that?
I don't see him in the room still. So.
Oh, you could see? Oh, I get it. Okay. I'll wait till he comes back. Yeah. Oh, and let's see. We have some people on YouTube we could say hi to.
Okay.
They're watching. Let's see. Oh, well, Jenna has a comment. That's fucked up. That's the only thing Jenna said. Wendy Park says, yay, Yumi. Do you know Wendy Park?
Oh, Wendy. Hi.
Hey. Let's see. Andy Shen says he opened up his wallet often on Candy Crush.
Oh, yes.
Here we go. Here's Luke Chu. Let's admit him.
Oh, yay.
And he's back sideways. Luke Chu, there you are. What happened there?
I'm like, sorry.
You forgot to charge your phone?
No. Actually, I should charge this now.
What happened? What happened? Now you're on a phone.
I'm on a phone. Yeah.
You're on a different device.
I'm on a different device. I've been trying to get back in from my laptop. My laptop is not being cooperative.
Oh, okay. No problem. Well, this will work.
Yeah. Is it?
This'll work.
Does this
you're now like narrow, like up and down narrow on the screen. That doesn't help. That makes you sideways but narrow.
Okay, let me see if
it's okay.
All right.
Maybe somebody at home would know if you can go full screen, but I don't think so.
Yeah.
You being on the phone, but it's okay.
Yeah.
I'll take it. Uh-oh. There you go. You're back.
Okay, there I am.
Anyway, sorry, we could seg out of that, but I was just, last talking about
race.
What do you call it? Well, and how I said I would love to find that teacher and post about what they said to me, but many, many decades ago.
You want to hear something?
That still stuck to me. I mean, that's like 30 or 40 years later, and I'm still like, I remember her face.
One of my teachers, we were doing this. I was taking this color theory class, and at the time it was all hand painting chips and like hand cutting like Bristol and like gluing like everything together, and I was not good at it. I was not good with an X-Acto blade, but I when I got after I got graded and I got it back, I got a Post-it note that was attached to it saying something like, blah blah blah, mediocre, da da da, and that like maybe I should like look into switching to a math major.
Oh, racist.
Not good.
Another Asian
More
design student, good buddy of mine, who actually went on to become an art director at Apple, got a similar Post-it note. So,
wow. Who's this Oh, you have the opportunity if you'd like to. Who is this teacher?
I don't need to.
Okay. So I have one more to bring up. Is that okay?
Yeah.
One more. Okay, so I wanted to go to a certain college, and I met a person who was I don't know, counselor maybe? I can't remember the position. And I met them because I worked at a photo lab, right? And they're doing their work. Luke, are you frozen?
Oh, no. Oh, okay.
Oh, wow. You fooled me. I was like, if I tell a story, Luke freezes. He just goes. Anyway, so I wanted to go to this college. And I met a person who was, person there. And I was sitting there going, oh, wow, maybe that would be helpful. So I actually had a meeting with them on campus. And they proceeded to wanted to take photos of me. So I was like, I just laughed it off. I'm like, yeah, whatever, no, it's cool, but like, I didn't realize that they were older. I'm younger. I'm like, whatever. Was that high school or something? And they wanted to take pictures of me, but I realized it was potentially not rated G, let's say. And I didn't realize this at all. I was pretty ignorant kid, so I was sitting there going, oh, nah, whatever, nah, like that. But then I realized, oh, this guy was like,
Wait, how old were you?
I don't know, maybe 17 or 18, maybe. But I was just ignorant to like this guy who's like, I don't know how old he was, 35, 40, but he worked at UCLA. Oops, I just named the school. Oops, UCLA. Anyway, so then I actually went, but I wanted to go, but my grades weren't that good and all this stuff. But then, it proceeded to ask these, oh, well, Luke, we lost you again.
Oh, no, sorry. I was just
These questions, these comments are so... You're being so hurt by it that it's cool.
Yeah, I'm like
I know you love me and all that stuff. I know, but it's you can just stay on. It's okay. Anyways,
am I horizontal?
Yeah, you are. Now? Yeah, that's better. Yeah. Anyway, so that was also another thing where I'm like, oh, that was kind of inappropriate. Thinking back that he was a counselor at this school that I wanted to get into, and he's asking for that, and I'm kind of like, oh, because his photography.
Doesn't that happen to you too, like with like Tower magazine distribution?
Oh, that was kind of weird too, but that was different. That person lived in another like state. It didn't even matter, Like, what are you gonna do? Nothing. But yeah. But
the story about Tower magazine distribution, Eric, is Yumi isn't familiar with this. I don't think.
No, I don't know.
How do you know about this story?
You told you it was on a previous. It was on an old episode of Robot and the Bear.
Okay, so Tower Distribution distributed Giant Robot. Well, I wanted them to distribute Giant Robot. It's a zine, Asian culture zine. And it turns out that there Tower books or zines, Tower Records, their zine section was governed by one person. Either they said, yes, we'll put you in to every Tower store in the world, or no, absolutely not. No, zero. And once they said no, you're out. You're not going to get into Tower. Mm-hmm. So it turns out this person liked Asians, maybe Asian males. I was a young Asian male, and probably very inappropriately, some of the conversations did go, and they took Giant Robot in, gave me a deal that was better than everybody else's in terms of like percentage. I forgot what my deal was, because when that person was gone, the next person renegotiated the deal and said, I don't understand who did this deal with you and why, but this deal is completely like, it's like the greatest deal ever, but we have to redo it because this isn't fair to anybody else. You're having the best deal of everybody. And it realized, oh, I happen to fit in all of the boxes that this person was into. Asian, young, Japanese, blah, 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 like down the list. And, I did have a long conversation once But yeah, there was no. I mean, it was probably inappropriate if I remember. It was inappropriate probably, but I didn't send them anything or pictures or anything else, but it was just a conversation had once, and then the deal got negotiated, and we scored.
Wow.
Yeah, but inappropriate probably, yeah. I'm sure it's very inappropriate. I ended up on the right side of the coin on that one because of the deal. And I didn't have to do anything. I just did have a long conversation, like for an hour once with this person.
That's enough.
Yeah. But was it wrong and inappropriate and complainable? Like there'd be people that would probably be very offended and would have called him out right away. This was in 1994, so like I was kind of like.
I mean, were you talking to any other zines that were being distributed by Tower at the time? Like, did you
No.
have? You didn't even have an inkling of like that you were getting like a good
Oh,
deal.
I knew the deal. Like when you're getting I'm getting the bigger end of the money than they were.
Well, so
you know what I'm saying?
Wow.
I knew something was up. I mean, this sounded weird. I'm like, oh, so Tower pays the makers more than they make? Usually no, right? Usually the big corporation makes the money, and we get screwed, right? A little bit. So in terms of it was the other way. I was getting more money and they were getting less, and and they were distributing Giant Robot literally at probably every tower in the world, maybe, because I know Tower in Japan had it, right? So,
but the thing is
for
that
what it's worth,
what you were also getting was the reputation of having a publication on the racks at Tower Records where all the cool kids went.
Yeah, when this is kind of pre-internet-y, all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I know, I understand all of it, but I'm just saying was it inappropriate? Probably. But that's what I'm saying. This is pre-cancel culture, pre-internet. I mean, this is 1994, but I mean, I've experienced so many like weird things that I could look back on, just like you mentioned, Yumi, like, like things that happened and you're kind of like, oh, maybe that was kind of inappropriate or was inappropriate. Oh yeah, there's a whole bunch of things that I went through that are now, so far back, but I remember them clearly. I'm sure you've run into some, Luke, maybe. Although I don't know. But I'm just saying I could remember the ones, and there's probably more than this. This is just 2. There's like, I'm sure there's like 50, like if I really go back and think about it, I'll get to more. Like things that were like inherently racist said to me that were, by, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Well, racism in my eyes is always about intent, right? Like the idea of like, but like ignorance is ignorance.
Yeah.
Like if someone referred to me as an Oriental, I'm not going to get bent out of shape over it, because it's just like, okay, well, you're just like, you've obviously had like over 40 years to figure out that Asians don't like being referred to as Oriental, but it happens, but like, I think that people who do get bent out of shape out of things like that, especially like over things like cultural appropriation, are need to like relax. I need to take a chill pill.
Sometimes it's not okay though. But
well, whenever I think of like cultural appropriations in cultural appropriation in Asians, I think specifically of like there was that issue that came up maybe like 4 or 5 years ago of like some girl who went to her high school prom wearing a like Asian style like silk dress, and it's just kind of like, is she wearing it because she's trying to slander Asian people, or is she wearing it because it looks good on her?
Right.
Like.
Hence the intent. You're saying the intent, right?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. Gotcha.
So like, if you're gonna like sit around and wear fucking rice picker hats and like, like pull your eyes back to create like, a slanty eye look, then fucking yeah, you're a racist piece of shit. Go fuck yourself. But like, but if you're wearing something because it's complimentary and it looks good and you like it, then more power to you. Fucking, make it look good.
Oh wait, we did. You know what though? We're guilty. We did that once at Comic-Con. I didn't wear a rice picker hat, but I wore a white shirt and black pants and had a name tag that was a Chinese restaurant name tag. So I pretended I was a Chinese waiter.
Oh.
And the Asians who worked at the booth the females anyway wore wore Chinese dresses. They did that one year. Well, they're Chinese though, but not from China, but they wore them and they look great.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
I can't imagine very many women who can who have
they look great,
who have average to slighter bodies. Even bigger girls could wear the outfit and make it look good.
They look good. They look good. And my restaurant, and my restaurant name tag, which some people thought was real, because when I went out of Comic-Con, they were asking me where the restaurant was. I actually had that, and it was called Chow Dong. I wrote. Wow. It was called Chow. It said Chow Dong. I had a Chow Dong tag.
Tell me
I'm sorry,
about this.
Okay, forget it. I'm sorry. It's irrelevant, man. We're interviewing Yumi, but okay.
Okay.
The restaurant was Chow Dong. That's all I got to say.
Chow Dong at Comic-Con at the giant robot booth.
Yeah, but then once I went out to to the Gaslamp District to buy food and all that stuff, people thought I was a real Chinese waiter, and they're like, "Where is this place?"
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I was dressed to the nines. I was wearing the white shirt, white button-up shirt.
Did you have the little black bow tie?
No bow tie, but I had black pants. I was wearing it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they thought I was straight out of Canton, wherever that is. Anyway, sorry, Yumi. Okay.
Anyways.
Yeah, cultural appropriation. There you go.
So actually one of the things that I speaking of, and this isn't cultural appropriation, but I've noticed one of the artworks that I posted to promote this show was this drawing that you do of a girl with the red ribbon kind of orbiting around her. And when I look at it, the first thing I see, or the way I initially interpret it, is something like the red thread. Which is this Asian myth that people are connected, specifically romantically connected, with a red thread that is apparently attached to your pinky and connects to someone else. It's this kind of mythology about that incorporates fate and stuff like that. Was that what you were thinking at all when you created those pieces? Because you've done more than one of them.
Yeah.
Or was it something else? Is that what I'm curious about? Symbology in your work.
Yeah. Well, I do know about that. What would you call it? Like a legend or
myth?
Yeah.
Yes.
But it wasn't, what I was doing wasn't really related to that, but it's really cool. I really love it when people kind of look at my work and they kind of get something out of it, that relates to themselves and things, and I think that's really cool. And so that's I like it when people tell me what they think, what it means. But yeah, to me it was kind of I really personally, I kind of associate the color red as almost it's the color of blood, so it's life, or kind of power or energy. And so what I was trying to do with those pieces was I've always kind of struggled with I guess my identity as a Japanese person who grew up in America. So Asian cultures kind of stress be quiet and be a good listener and not really speak out of term. But then America, it's very be unique and speak up and be individualistic, and so I felt throughout my life those two things were kind of conflicting. And so I always had these emotions that I couldn't really express in words. And so I was trying to kind of capture that frustration and not being able to to kind of explain what I was feeling in my art. And I felt like the red ribbon kind of represents all of the things that I can't say, and they were kind of like coming out. And then a lot of times I use it to like hide like my character's like mouth or like eyes, and so that was also kind of like saying how it's difficult to express these things.
Oh,
yeah,
interesting.
Cool.
Pretty embarrassing to like talk about your work.
I guess that's kind of part of making art. You don't have to, but you know, sometimes explaining it and taking ownership of your own work, sometimes it's a good thing. Yeah. That's something that they don't teach at school, right? Like, do they teach you that, or are you like forced to explain all these kind of things at school of your art, or are you allowed to just go, it just looked pretty, therefore I did it?
Oh no, well, a lot of times like teachers get mad at you if you're like, oh, I thought it was just pretty. They're like, you need to have a purpose.
Oh,
So like it's always like about like intent. All of my like really awesome teachers at Otis, they were always stressing, like especially in like entertainment too, like everything has to like work and everything has to have a purpose in your work. So I think it's something that you kind of get trained into doing, and I think especially in like fine art and things, everyone kind of tries to attach something more like spiritual or something like a deeper feeling to their artwork, and I think that's like just an extent of like expression. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, you know, actually, I guess the better art schools will do that because it's involved in all the critiques. You know, the critiques start pushing you in that direction too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was just thinking because I asked some artists about why, and sometimes there's no answer. I don't know, you know. So I've seen that answer as well, where I'm not sure if they actually went through the critiques and had to like, you know, find out a basis for what they're doing, but. Oh, it's good to hear. I had no idea art schools even did that.
Yeah, I don't know if all art schools do that, but I think at Otis it was stressed because like they're so like entertainment heavy, like they're trying to get you a job like when you go out into the world. So they're always like trying to make you think about how everything works.
Yeah, I think that's part of that's also, I guess, in work life. Do you have to make presentations ever?
Yeah.
Okay.
All the time.
I think that's kind of where you have to like be able to explain what you're doing, or else, you know, you can't just go, yeah, I don't know, I just thought it would look good on your digital platform, but I don't think you could pull that, you know. I think they kind of want a reason to at least make it feel like they've invested correctly in an idea, right? It just can't be like, for no reason.
Yeah.
I know. Okay, I gotcha.
Is most of your work autobiographical, do you think, or do you you know, like there's so many different kinds of ways of being able to approach you know, art and narrative. Some people like I know, like when I think of like say like Nathan's work, like I'm you know, like I'm inclined to like believe that some of it is just pure feels, but like, you know, then, you know, but I'm not really quite sure, like, you know, if it's really like, you know, if he sees himself in all of his characters or his, you know, or if they're like, you know, I don't know. I'm trying to think like what is the difference between like say the bird versus like the wooden boy and all these other things, you know, as an artist who paints and draws like mostly female characters, like right now as of now, like what do you see yourself in these characters that you're creating, or like is it like where does your inspiration come from?
Yeah, I would say it comes from like myself. Like for like a lot of writers and stuff, they're always write what you know.
Right.
So I always like it was kind of like I said, it's kind of like a therapy thing for me. Like since I do like almost two different types of art. When I do like my personal art, it comes from like a really personal place, and I've kind of found that like I'm always like trying to live the life I want in my pieces almost.
Right, right.
Like I try like in my world, which is like in the art, like I want it to be like this, or like it's even if it's like something frustrating, it's kind of how I work through it. And so yeah, I would say that like all of my gallery pieces are personal. um yeah.
You know, so one of the things that I thought was kind of like, I think I saw an Instagram post that you posted. I'm not sure if it's still up or not, but like, you know, I had just met you at Giant Robot during your opening, and then I think you posted a picture of you, like it was like the next week, the following weekend, and I think it was a picture of you. Oh, it's this one. Panel prepping.
Wow.
And I was just like, whoa, you're already like, you know, working on your next thing. So, like, you're not giving yourself a little bit of a break. Like, what do you got coming up?
Yeah, I did give myself a break. But like I felt kind of like I didn't have a purpose like right after the show. And so, and like panel prepping isn't like a lot like art. It's more, it's just like
mechanical.
yeah. So I'm actually prepping for like a group show that's coming up, but it's way in the distance. It's in October in Chicago. Yeah, so I was just prepping panels for that, and I don't even know what I'm gonna do on those panels yet, but I was just trying to get them ready. And yeah.
Where are you showing in Chicago? Where are you showing in Chicago?
Oh, I forgot what the gallery was called, but
That's not good.
Yeah.
It's
Chicago Museum of Art.
It's for Think Space, I believe. They have like a group show with it's like a yearly event thing that they do with another gallery. Let me see.
I think I can't remember where they do that too. They do something. I've heard about it before in past years.
Yeah. Oh, it's Vertical.
Oh, okay. I've heard of Vertical Gallery. I don't think I've been there before. You know, but Chicago's great. I love Chicago.
Yeah, I used to go when I lived in Michigan.
What part of Michigan were you from?
You know Kalamazoo?
Yeah, I heard of it.
I've heard of it, but
I've heard of it.
Never been there. I've only been to Detroit, so.
Oh yeah. We would go to Detroit to get like our Japanese groceries.
Oh really? I would think that you would be going across the river, you know, into Canada to do all that, you know, because I like last time I checked, like there's like one ramen place in Detroit, which means there's very few Asian people, you know, in Detroit, but you know, it is a big city. How long did you live in Michigan for?
For 5 years, but I was like really young, so I don't really remember too well.
Wait, that was, I mean, it's a little while ago, so maybe it was a lot different then. You know, automotive industry was probably a little stronger then.
Right.
This had to be like 20 years ago, come to think of it, right?
Yeah.
Doing the math. Yeah. It's about 20 years ago. Yeah. Vincent Chin was already dead, so I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm going to, you know, like that was that big incident. Dead. So that means it was, no, it was already, it's on its way down at that point, I think. Right? Because the automotive industry was like they were getting mad at Japanese cars, right? Weren't they? Something like that. and then they killed Vincent Chin.
Mm.
I think that was like it was on its way down already.
Yeah, no, a lot of people.
I'm surprised they had a Japanese market there or an Asian market at all. Oh man.
Yeah. A friend of mine was explained to me like, you know, what happened with Asian people in Detroit. Last time I was out there, I think it was Sharktooth who was telling me about it. You know, and how like they just kind of like, you know, found ways of pushing Asian people out of, you know, Detroit, but
right.
You know, I don't really know the, you know, the ins and outs of it.
So. By murdering somebody, that's one way.
I mean, that's how they
and not having to be accountable. That was kind of it too. It's like murdering somebody and then getting away with it.
It's America. Like, you know, that's just the way it goes here. You know, if they don't like, you know, the way you look, they fucking kill you. So, you know. So what else have you got coming up aside from the Vertical group show?
Not too much. I'm trying to kind of take it slow. Even though I am like kind of I like to work, but I think I did a couple like larger pieces recently. So I'm doing like a few smaller pieces now, and then I kind of want to go back and do like a really big piece. So I haven't done like the largest piece I've done is like a 2 foot by 2 foot piece. So I kind of want to do something a little bit bigger and just like test stuff out.
So are you actually working almost daily on your own personal art too? Or is there like, you know, times off like Luke? I believe Luke takes long times off.
I do.
Yeah. And I think I'm just wondering, are you drawing, sketching or anything like that? Like almost daily?
I try to. Of course there's days where I'm just so like pooped after work that I don't, but I usually like do something in a sketchbook, or if I'm doing like a show I might like sketch something out after work. But yeah, it's like it's kind of nice because when I'm working at my day job, I like have like a cool idea or something, I'm like really excited to finish my day job to like go do my own stuff.
That's awesome. That's cool. So you're on company time, you're able to like think about your own work. Okay, that's cool. I like that. Yeah. Subvert. Go for it.
Well, inspiration always comes from the weirdest places, right? You never know when like, you know, lightning strikes and, you know, a great idea manifests in your head. You know, then you try to do your best to try and hold on to that idea, and then like go, you know, get to somewhere where you can be able to like flesh that idea out, and then, you know, and then do it. You know, it's
so yeah. The current show, you had a lot of pieces. Are you editing anything out, or did you is that like literally everything you did?
It's pretty much everything.
Okay. Oh, I wasn't sure. Like,
I was just, since I did have like my day job, I was just trying to crank out as many pieces as I could in the time I had, and so that's like everything.
wow. Okay. I just wasn't sure like how satisfied by each piece you can be, because it seems like you must be enough to show everything, right? Like I'm wondering if there's ever, you know, ones where you're like, no, not this one.
Oh, there are, but like there's like a perfectionist in me is always like, oh, it's not done, or like this is so bad. But then like sometimes it's like weird how like people receive your work, like the pieces you hate the most, sometimes people like the best, and you're just like, oh, why? So like you kind of have to at some point just let your pieces go.
Because I was more asking toward the efficiency, like, you know, are you able to almost use everything that you work on? Yeah.
Well, when I work on pieces, I usually do like a sketch on like a scrap piece of paper, and then if I really like it, I start to like build it up. So there's a lot of sketches that never like no one ever sees, but when it gets as far as like a piece, it's usually like good enough for me to like take it that far. But yeah, there's always frustrating pieces.
That's the struggle.
Yeah.
That is the struggle.
Yeah.
All right. I think we're coming up on an hour.
Oh wow.
Yumi, let us
go.
Let the people know how they can find you.
Oh, okay. You can find me on Instagram. I'm most active on Instagram at tulipyumi96. And I also have a Twitter, but I'm not too active on that. I'm trying to be better with social media.
You're going to do those NFTs. You got to have that Twitter.
Yeah.
No TikTok?
No TikTok.
Okay.
What? Wait, what? You're 20-something?
Yeah.
I think you got to be younger.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you've aged out of TikTok already. So.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
actually, have you before we go? Do you look at TikTok ever?
I did like when it was like a while ago, but not recently.
I was trying to figure out how does art work on TikTok? Like, can you, it seems like Instagram is still the way to show art and TikTok is not really the way. Like, I'm not seeing art being used on TikTok in any better manner than Instagram. Maybe even worse. On TikTok?
Yeah.
But is he the exemplar of all art on TikTok? Like, I mean, James Jean does it, and it just doesn't seem to work for me. It seems like Instagram is the way, and for TikTok for him even, I'm just not. I'm like, like I'm not really.
Well, I don't think James Jean posts enough.
So. Oh, it has to be pretty. Is it still consistency then? You think on TikTok?
Maybe
I have no idea.
Like once every other
know.
day you post something. Wow. Maybe I don't know.
I just haven't seen what can you do there better.
David Cho does it, does TikTok too. So those are the three artists that I follow, like David Cho,
okay,
James Jean.
I just haven't seen a good application of art on TikTok for me that's any better than Instagram.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
I know there's like a new like art app that people are kind of jumping on called Artful. But that's because like Instagram's been kind of really bad lately with like algorithms and
yeah, that's the one issue. Huh?
Yeah.
Artful.
Better get on that. Register your name just in case it blows up.
Yeah.
Right, Luke? Yep. That's Luke. Luke taught me this. So for everyone listening, Artful. It's an app, right? You said?
Yeah.
Man Robot, you gotta go get it.
Wait, it's probably too late already on some of these.
No, don't say that. Go for it.
Wait, I bet you Luke Chu's already taken.
Nah, I don't think so.
Yeah,
I'm an old man.
Because that's me. That's me doing it. That's me taking other people's names. Anyway, I don't know.
Get your rep in China to fucking snag it up. Pick up.
I know. Okay, Artful, huh? I have no idea what that is. Maybe it's Artful Method. I don't even know which Artful. There's like more than one.
It's like art FOL, like portfolio, I think.
I'm glad we clarified this. We wouldn't have known. There you go, everybody. Artful. Okay, awesome. And you're on there?
Yeah, I am.
I'm good to know.
Trying it out. It's like a platform. It's kind of like Instagram, but like only for artists. But you can make an account as an artist or like as a collector or like a viewer.
Downloading right now.
But so this is one of the benefits of having a younger person on our stream. We learned something. I mean, there's tons of stuff we learned, but if anything, artful portfolio. There you go. Yeah. Everybody donate to Yumi's what's that thing called? A Patreon. Donate to our Patreon. We just gave you something for nothing. Donate to our Patreon that doesn't exist yet. Because you owe us.
Once the show is trucking on a consistent weekly basis, we'll get that Patreon going, guys. It'll be great.
Or if we had that Patreon going, we'd be on a consistent basis. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it was consistently, the Patreon was very strong, there would be
yeah, like if we set it up so that
shows.
every time we post an episode, we get $1 or $5, or if you want to be a baller, $20. You know.
Oh, is that how it works? No, it's
you
monthly.
You can do it that way. From my understanding, you could set it up so that like
to get like
per,
tips,
like thing, like
okay.
From my understand, I don't know. I've never.
I don't know
had
anything.
A Patreon. You
yeah,
can, like,
I've earned my own money. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Just like downed everybody that's a Patreon. I'm joking. No, geez. That's just no. I did it on purpose to be an asshole. That's just like saying at a sorority or a fraternity you're buying your friends. You ever hear that? And it's like that's the people's lame put down. Oh. You're just buying your friends. It's like whatever. But anyway. Yeah, that's the same thing. Patreon
makes sense. I can see that. Anyways,
no, I'm just messing around and being mean
Yumi,
and hurtful.
Thank you so much for being on the episode.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Hopefully, we'll looking forward to seeing what new works that you have around the corner.
Yeah.
If you guys are in Los Angeles, stop by Giant Robot GR2.
In the next little bit of time, hurry up.
Yeah.
Hurry up.
Yeah.
Come this weekend.
Is this the last weekend?
It'll be the last. Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me? It's already. You gotta,
see how time flies, Luke? Just like that. Time flies.
And aren't we supposed to also have the third artist on? Like
Bo Miles? Wait, where's that guy at? Yumi.
He's working.
Oh. He's behind one of those doors probably.
Here.
Yeah.
Yeah, because wait, who's next? Who you got next?
Maggie Chang.
Oh, cool.
Ooh, she's great.
Or should we stick with this AAPI kind of vibe going on for the month of May and say?
I don't know. Does it matter? I mean, you just figured it out today that there's an AAPI month, huh, Luke?
Maybe.
Kinda. Maybe. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, no. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Okay.
But for now, thanks a lot for joining us, Yumi. I appreciate it.
No, thank you.
Yeah, and come check us out.
Yes, check out the show. It's a great show.
Thank you.
Awesome.
And say hi to Bo Miles.
Yes, I will.
Wherever room there he is. He's pointing. All right. Thank you.
All right.
Thanks for joining us, everybody. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.